You have to stream up? No, do you want me to check it there? Oh, if anyone just has a phone, I'm just going to turn on the mic for like 2 seconds and see if we can. If you have it up, I'll get the mic and we'll just get like a 1-2.
Yeah. Might even get a free tour.
Okay, so I'm going to do the mic is on.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, folks. Hello, everyone. My name is Owen Crossan, and I am the returning officer for this year's elections. Thank you. I'm going to try and speak as loudly as I can, but I will ask that if you let me reach the end of a count before cheering, that would be great, because otherwise we'll be here all night, and I know you all have places to go. All right. So first, get some housekeeping out of the way. So the voting and the count were conducted online via MSL, and if anyone wants physical copies of the results afterwards, they can be requested after this announcement. In terms of the room, look around for your nearest fire exit. If there's a fire, just don't trample each other. First of all, I'll start with a few thanks. So thank you to the candidates and their teams. Thank you to the wonderful volunteers who helped at the polling stations. And thank you to the students as well for engaging with the elections and ultimately for voting as well. As returning officer, I'm satisfied that the election is valid, so we haven't all wasted our time, which is nice. I'm going to announce the results in reverse constitutional order. So I will start with the two part-time positions and then move on to the full-time officers, okay? So our total turnout was 3,563. So that's something that all of the candidates should be really proud of for getting that many students to turn out. So I'm going to start with the election of the faculties officer. There was one candidate, Alan Sprosky, and reopened nominations as the obligatory alternative. There was a total valid poll of 3,232 votes, 3232, leaving the quota at 1,616 votes, 1616. On the first count, Alan received 2,784 votes, reopened nominations 448. Having exceeded the quota on the first count, I deem Alan elected as your new faculties officer. In the election for Student Council Chair, there was again one candidate, John Bois, and reopened nominations as your obligatory alternative. There was total valid poll in this election of 3,247, 3247, meaning the quota is 1,624, 1624. On the first count, John received 2,774 votes, 2774. Reopened nominations 473, 473. Having exceeded the quota on the first count, I deem John elected as your new Student Council Chair. And now we move on to our full-time positions. So in the election for Vice President, Diversity and Inclusion, there was again one candidate, Kuan Hayes, and your obligatory alternative, reopened nominations. There was a total valid poll in this election of 3,240, 3240, meaning the quota was 1,620, 1620. On the first count, Kuan Hayes received 2,590 votes, 2590. Reopened nominations 650, 650. Having exceeded the quota on the first count, I deem Kuan Hayes elected your new VP Diversity and Inclusion. Congratulations. In the election for VP Academic, there were two candidates, Hannah Holmes, Abby Lappin, and reopened nominations. Total valid poll 3,370, 3370. Quota 1,665, 1665. In the first count, the votes received were as follows. Abby Lappin, 2,498, 2498. Hannah Holmes, 698, 698. Reopened nominations, 134, 134. Having exceeded the quota on the first count, I deem Abby Lappin elected your VP Academic. Moving on to our next election, Deputy President Welfare. In this election, there was one candidate, Jared Nadine, and reopen nominations as your obligatory alternative. Total valid poll in this election, 3,268, 3268, leaving the quota at 1,634, 1634. On the first count, Jared received 2,702 votes, 2702. Reopen nominations, 566, 566. Having exceeded the quota on the first count, I deem Jared elected your Deputy President Welfare. And finally, for the election of President, there were three candidates in this election: Ignacio Castro, Pratyush Jhunjhunwala, and Eva McCormack. Your total valid poll in this election was 3,519, 3519, leaving the quota at 1,760, 1760. On the first count, the votes received were as follows: Eva McCormack, 1,610, 1610. Ignacio Castro, 1,579, 1579. Pratyush Jhunjhunwala, 237, 237. Reopen nominations, 9393. So with no candidate having reached the quota on the first count, I will exclude reopen nominations and Pratyush, as reopen nominations transfers would not bring Pratyush above the next lowest ranked candidate. On the second count, the results were as follows: non-transferable votes, 273, 273. Eva McCormack, plus 38, giving a total of 1,648, 1648. Ignacio Castro, plus 19, giving a total of 1,598, 1598. With only two candidates remaining and having no further action to take, I deem Eva McCormack elected, having not reached the quota. Congratulations. So that's all for this evening. Thank you very much to all of the candidates for running in the election, for getting so many students engaged. It's been really nice to see the buzz around campus. On the screen here, you'll see the successful candidates as well. But just be mindful that in elections, it's not only about the people who won as well, okay? There's people who put a lot of work into these elections who weren't successful, so be mindful of them as well, okay? Have a lovely evening, and congratulations and well done to everyone.